Crow your coins, crow your coins. You got to crow your coins. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Crypto Crow, or otherwise known as Green Man, because my video is still jacked up. But I'm live right now. It's currently 5:58 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Welcome. I'm gonna just kind of mess around a little bit while notifications go out, and yeah, it's kind. I have a bonkers camera and I don't know how to use it yet. I'm just being honest. I really don't know what's happening. I'm green and I look different on this platform than I do on like Streamlabs. So, we'll just have to bear with me and I'll just have to look kind of ridiculous. Not that I don't generally as it is, but what's up? So yeah, I am live. I don't know how great my connection is right now because it's kind of stormy and it's kind of rainy and gross outside, obviously probably with the hurricane that's been forming up down in the tropics. So while we're letting people pile in, so I'm going to dive into some data and some really cool stuff. I'm going to be talking about a big AI project that just a fan of Cardano is working on Twitter that I found really fascinating. I'm like, I love this. I want to see more. And I just started chatting with him a little bit. We're going to look at a new website that I think is going to be a pretty cool tool. Hasn't even launched yet. I don't even think they've told anybody about it yet. I might send you a little bit of a mixed signal on whether or not you should go check it out. I like it. And we'll touch on that when we get there. And then some news, some crypto news, Cardano news, a lot of stuff happening, man. And I almost didn't even do a video today because I've been so busy. What have I been busy with? Well, I'm working on 30 different price predictions and I have been just like crunching numbers. And here's the thing, I'll tell you what I've been doing is I have, let's see, what do I have? I'm sorry. I have 38 different projects. Wow. 38 different projects. My mic went limp. And I've been calculating a lot of stuff and I've been using Claude 3.5 to kind of help me because I'm inputting a whole bunch of data and then I'm asking it questions as to how the data, what the data means now, how this can change, what are the patterns. I'm doing all sorts of things. And I've got kind of like my basic price prediction, plus or minus. I've got 3 different prices for each right now, plus or minus 15% in dominance at the peak of the potential market. And but the reality of it is that these can change so dramatically. Many of these I expect to grow much more dramatically than just 15%. And so then what I'm trying to work on now is I'm doing research on trying to figure out what other elements are going to play a role in how much the dominance grows in a particular asset, based off of where it is, what its use case is, what it does. I've been looking at so many different metrics to try and get this as fine-tuned and accurate as I can based off of historical patterns, historical use numbers. And then I started diving into Cardano and I'm like, wow, man, this is stuff nobody talks about. So I'm going to talk about it today because I see so many BS narratives and I'm like, man, this data, I'm like, how many people actually look at it? So I'm going to touch base on that. If you're not already subscribed, which I know many of you aren't, you're slacking, make sure you join my locals because this is a big deal. So, this link right here takes you straight to my locals and it's cryptocrow.locals.com or just go to cryptocrow.io. I'll throw the link in the chat. Every one of you guys needs to join, even if it's just the free account. You guys all need to join. If you follow what I do on YouTube, things are going to start heating up a lot. And I'll tell you why they're going to start heating up a lot. I've kind of touched on it a little bit already because the Crow score is coming. And it's actually coming in a big way. We've got a project that we're working on right now. And It's more of an art project. It's not like a deep tech project, but it's actually kind of a cool thing that we're doing. We're working on this. Like, okay, well, now we've already understood that we need to break projects down into categories, and how we rate these projects within that category is going to change. And there's so much that's coming. I will tell you this. I'll show you this. This website, this is called riskwisepro.io. And I had a video chat recently with one of the founders. This isn't even launched yet. Okay, just so you know, you're going to see things and you're like, that doesn't look finished. It's not. They're working on it, but they have like a team of 60 people working on this website and different games and all sorts of stuff. And they're gonna add a column down all of these basically all of these projects for the Crow score. The thing is that all the projects have to get the Crow score for it to appear on here. But the idea is, especially for new projects, they love what we're doing, and they love, we were having a discussion about all of it. Not only that, but a major DEX reached out apparently recently, saying, hey, we want to get involved in this too. This is a really good idea. This is something we need. And I think all these different people and platforms are realizing that there really isn't anything out there that is like assessing these projects on a deep level. So, for the protection of investors and traders and people that are spending a lot of time and money getting into these projects, I mean, the idea is, listen, if you don't have a Crow score, you're not shit. And I mean that in a sense that if you're trying to hide from the public and you're not willing to expose yourself to a high level veteran group of people, with the talent, the accolades, the history, everything that they've accomplished. And I'm not just talking about me. I'm talking about the guys that I'm working with on this Crow score stuff. I mean, these guys are insane. And if you check out the bios on cryptocrow.io, you'll see what they've accomplished. These guys aren't like, they're not little script kiddies in their mom's basement. They're like legit. And so, we want to be able to dive into a lot of these projects and try and help the public better understand, this is a legitimate application. This is a legitimate effort by a legitimate group. The code is clean. Everything looks good. You know what I mean? And then throw a score to that so that people can say, okay, you know what? The Crow score says this is this. This isn't necessarily like a green light, red light for investment, but it's at least a third-party assessment of these projects to help people better decide whether or not they want to get involved and do further research on their own. And so we're getting some support and we're getting some interest. And so, as platforms and projects and people step forward and the Crow score becomes a really good metric for people, then we're just going to be talking about all these projects and all of these platforms, and the people that are supporting us, of course, we're going to be supporting them. And so, any way that works, we just need to build it. We need to start building a better ecosystem around altcoin projects, because I'm just personally tired of seeing people get burned all the time with all of this shit. Meme coins are one thing, NFTs, that's another thing. But I don't, because I feel like we all get into these expecting to be rugged or screwed somehow. And if we continue to do it, then that's on us. But what are sold to us as legitimate cryptocurrency projects should not be going belly up at the first sign of a bear market or something like that, and never to return. There's so many of those projects, and I feel like every one of them some form of scam. And I hate that for all of us. You know what I mean? So anyway, this is Riskwise Pro. I will definitely be updating people more and more on this, because there's a lot of stuff that's going into this platform that I'm like, really cool. I found it by accident, I think, somebody sent it to me and they're like, hey, you should check this out. I'm like diving through and looking at all the stuff they got going on. And I'm like, this looks really cool. And so we started talking further. This is really interesting for you folks out there. That I have been getting so much deeper into AI. I just love it. And the more you learn and the more functionality you realize you have, because really AI, whether it's Claude, I'm telling you guys right now, I like this Claude 3.5 a whole lot better than GPT. I'm telling you now, Claude 3.5 Not only is it so much easier for me to use, but it seems to understand exactly what I want a lot easier than ChatGPT. Like my inputs don't have to be I'm just talking to it like I'm talking to somebody. Like if I were directing like a human staffer, you know what I mean? Hey, this is what I need. And then I expect that staffer to figure it out and get me what I need. That's basically what Claude is doing for me right now. And it's doing a really damn good job. So to the point where it's getting me excited, like, man, there's a lot of stuff I'm going to be able to do with this ultimately for you folks that are watching me all the time. But anyway, this is Dave. It's Dave_ADA on Twitter. Just wrapped the whole Cardano blockchain in AI and can query it using human readable text with the ability to extend to shitcoin, and I don't know if it's a shitcoin or not, but it hasn't been doing very well lately. My intention here, 9 hours of coding. You know what? I'm joking. He should do this for all of these. For Solana, Tron, Sui, he should do this for all of them, and then throw them all in a platform that everybody can access. So basically, he's created 110 lines of code, customized AI. Let's empower Cardano users with on-chain data. So basically, what he's doing is he's creating a language model utilizing all of the on-chain data associated with Cardano. And I'm like, that is so awesome. And if you go down, okay, wow, this has really shocked me. I did not expect this whilst coding it. This is my pool, Dave pool. I didn't even code this in. Wow, it's crazy. So he's just exploring. And I posted a comment here. I'm like, how would we get access to this and play with it? What did he say? Might just randomly drop a link for a limited time, to be honest, or I will favor my stake pool delegators and watch and wallet guard it as a free service in my thoughts. Nothing confirmed though. Fair enough, man. I mean, this is cool. But he's giving me ideas. Like I've got a whole AI team. I mean, like I don't want to do this again, but I mean, if I'm not gonna really have easy access to it, I mean, I could probably just set it up myself. But what he's doing is really, really cool. And it's kind of what we've been doing with Eternalized. But we were doing it in a different way, not necessarily with all of the on-chain data, but we took like the white paper and all of the published documents related to Cardano and ultimately created a conversational model around that. And I know we haven't been pumping Eternalized for a long time because we've been working on Wargroom. And then once we launch Wargroom, we're going to go back and we're going to implement all of the different functionality related to Eternalized that we initially set out to do. It's just, it costs money. And it's just like, I had a bunch of YouTubers involved. They were all supposed to help me promote it. I don't think anybody really did anything. Supo Man, I think, was the only one that even talked about it. We set up all of these models for everybody. We did all this stuff. Nobody even mentioned it on their channel. Nobody helped at all. So I'm like, all right, well, whatever. I was actually really disappointed. I was really, really disappointed in that. I'm like, all right, okay, that's how it is, I guess. But anyway, Supo Man was talking about it a lot. And, I was really disappointed, but just nobody was joining and there weren't a lot of people using it. And so not only was it costing us a lot of money on the back end to make all these models and to push all of them and to serve it all, nobody was talking about it. Nobody was helping us at all. So we're like, all right, well, we're just going to shit can it for now. And then, when we have more resources, then we'll come back to it and flesh it out the way we had originally planned. And then we'll relaunch it. And that's basically where we're at. So just heard the word disappointed a lot. Yeah, well, I was disappointed. People are busy, man. And it's like, and I get all that, but it's just like, we were trying to do something to help everybody. And like nobody, I don't know. But anyway, check this out if you're interested in it, because this is going to be pretty cool. And something tells me Dave is on to something. And he may very well grow this and expand this into even more and more and more. And if he wants to do something like this on alt, and you know why I think this is important? I would love for him to do this on Solana. This is a perfect lead into my next thing about Cardano, because Into the Block used to have Solana's on-chain data, and so did Masari, and nobody has it now. And I don't know why. And if Dave is able to do this for Solana so that we could start because Dave's like, I'm finding all kinds of crazy stuff. This is great. He's like exploring. It's like exploring a whole new world for him. And I'm like, yes, I get it. It's exciting. But there's a lot of on-chain data available out there, but this makes it conversational, right? So you can just say, hey, what is this? What is that metric? You can't do that with Solana because none of these platforms offer Solana data. If you go into the block, you'll see, let's go down here to the list. Look at all the top coins just right here. There's no Solana. If I go to the search, Solana, nothing. Why not? It used to be on there. And yes, it does piss me off that it's no longer available because it just sounds sketchy to me. I know Cardano's not paying to be on this website, so it's not a matter of like, oh, well, they didn't pay our fees, so, we took them off, because I'm not sure the end of the block does that. I know a lot of other sites do. I'm pretty sure Masari charges for data, unless it's an exceedingly popular project. But I don't think they don't have Solana data either, because I look for it all the time. I can't find this shit anymore. So to me, that's kind of sketch. So if Dave wants to do something that's really unique, there would be a lot of people, Dave. Cardano thing, you're onto something there. I might do that myself. I'm not going to lie, because it's a pretty cool idea, unless there's a way that we work together. But, I really would love to see Solana. I'm not going to do it with Solana, but I'd love somebody who did, especially somebody that made it public somehow and opened it up for searching, because there's a lot of questions I have about Solana's on-chain numbers that I can't find anywhere, because for whatever reason, they don't exist anywhere. That should freak out a lot of people, because that's not very transparent. But, anyway, let me know. I'm going to go over a couple of articles about Cardano, and then we're going to dive into some on-chain metrics of our own, because I find that very interesting, because we're going to talk about whether or not Cardano is growing or is it fading. That's going to be the question. We're going to answer that. Cardano leads the way with early MiCA compliance updates. The Cardano Foundation, in collaboration with the Crypto Carbon Ratings Institute, which I didn't even know any of this stuff was a thing, CCRI, has released sustainability indicators for the Cardano network that will comply with the markets and crypto assets regulation in the European Union. The report was released on July 2nd and adheres to MiCA's mandate requiring crypto asset issuers and service providers to disclose sustainability indicators. And apparently Cardano has updated and upgraded and done all kinds of stuff even before this was a thing. The Cardano Foundation partnered with CCRI to ensure rigorous blockchain monitoring and data collection. The report placed a lot of emphasis on Cardano's energy-efficient consensus protocol, which consumes a lot less electricity than proof-of-work protocols. It also includes detailed metrics on the network's annual electricity consumption, carbon footprint, and marginal power demand per transaction per second. And basically, the metrics are just like flying colors. I was reading about this on another website, and it was just basically saying that like Cardano's green as green gets. Like it's like it was going through the weights and the output of this and that, and yeah, Cardano's just solid. It's solid as a rock, but we already knew that. Standard Chartered predicts Bitcoin to reach $100,000 by the U.S. election day. I agree. I think this is exactly what's going to happen, because I've made predictions similar, just looking at the numbers. And if you looked at my recent Bitcoin price prediction, this would fall right in line with that tower. I think I settled on around 224,000 by the peak of the market in the first quarter of 2025, maybe into the second quarter. And $100,000 mark by the election absolutely makes sense to me. And like what's happening right now, I mean, Cardano's about to break 42 cents. And, I did the prediction video before, like a week ago, where I'm like, this is the price action. And then yesterday I uploaded the video where I went back over that prediction and where we were then. And I'm like, I would like to see us hold at least this 41 cent, 42 cent range for a while. And while Bitcoin and other things have been dropping, Cardano's been doing its own thing. I'm watching this on a little gadget I have on my desk, and I can see, I'm looking at the incremental price of Cardano, and it's at 0.4184 right now. And so I can see it slowly go up or slowly go down every time it updates, every tick. And it's been doing well, and it's leaning towards, the 42-cent range now. And I'm expecting to see that hit. So we'll see. Okay. So we're going to go over a couple metrics here that I find really, really interesting because, a lot of people like to talk a lot of trash about Cardano. I mean, a lot of them honestly look like purple-haired morons that are just running around flaming shit on the interwebs because they don't have anything else to do. Maybe they ran out of whippets. I don't know. But I'm personally, I just start removing them from chat when I see them anymore because they're just trolls and they're super annoying. And the data doesn't lie. We're going to look at the data right now. So when we were to get an understanding as to where we've been, right? Leading into the 2021 market cycle, we had a whole lot of this is ownership. Okay. So the blue are the number of hodlers. Okay. This blue metric, let's go ahead and make this a little bit bigger because I want to make sure you guys can see it clearly. So the blue metric is the number of hodlers. All right. And then the green, they're cruisers. All right. So we can get rid of them. The orange are traders. The number of traders has been steadily declining since the peak of the market, while the number of hodlers has increased exponentially. So, and if you, and this is why people say, oh, Cardano's dead. Cardano's dead. Look at the price. It's stagnant. It doesn't do anything, right? Yeah, that's because more people are buying it and accumulating it for long-term potential than they are trading it. Because traders are attracted to volatility. They like projects that go up and down all the time. They like to trade the signals. They like to trade. Cardano's not really a good trade token. Cardano's a great buy low, sell high, or buy low and accumulate more over time through delegating and generating that yield every epoch. That's what people are doing with Cardano. If you look at the numbers, leading into the 2021 market cycle, there were a total of 355,000 addresses climbing, 600,000 addresses roughly. The number of holders was growing, right? And then it dipped down as the number of holders started to go away, as the price started to really peak out, right? It started to grow. And it's interesting if you look at this slide. Here we are. This is May 10th of 2021, and the number of holders, long-term holders, a year plus, has dropped to 155,000. But the number of cruisers has gone up substantially, which means that as this price started going up, it was basically a lot of long-term holders that were holding for a long period of time. And this is all the holders is 1 year or more. So these are the addresses that have been holding Cardano for a year or more. So as soon as that price started going up, man, those people started selling, creating that sell pressure while the cruisers went up and then the traders went up. And so I found that very, very interesting. So these people have been holding all this time, and they started selling at the first sight of any real potential price activity. And you can see the price would go up. It went from 7 cents, 5 cents, 3 cents. So if you're talking about a whole year, you're talking about 2020. So a lot of these people bought in at 3 cents and started selling it off at around 30, 40 cents. And you can see that decline. That's insane to me, how much money those people missed out on, because I know what the narratives were at the time. The narratives were the same damn bullshit that it is today. And these people are like, I'm just going to get out. I'm so freaked out. All I see are all these tweets and all this stuff telling me Cardano's bad and Cardano's dead. And it's a ghost chain. It's vaporware. It's all this nonsense. And they bought it. And so they sold. I wish I could tell what these people, I wish there was something else. Someday there will be on-chain data that will tell me that these people they sold into like some other project, right? And like whether it did well or not. But you can see as the price continued to go up, boom, man, people started selling off. And then at the peak of that market at $2.88, even though it was like $3.14, it just kind of depends on what API they're pulling their price data from, what exchange. 2.16 million addresses at the peak of the market at that time. And that's active addresses, I'm pretty sure. No, that's just total addresses, I guess, because that number continues to go up. So anyway, at the peak of that, there were 211,000 long-term holders that had basically bought within the last year or at least a year and held it. Cruisers went up to 1.33 million addresses, and the number of traders went up to 618,000. Well, what are we seeing now? Well, since that time, the number of holders has consistently grown year after year, month after month, day after day, all the way to now, which there are 3.14 million addresses that are considered long-term holders. There are 1.17 million addresses that are cruisers and 160,000 that are traders. 160,000 traders after basically back in the day when there was almost a million trader addresses. So what does this say? Well, this says that the people that are buying Cardano are holding it, and that's it. And more people are accumulating. So if the number of people that are accumulating Cardano are holding it long term, think about it. We're in July 2024, so a lot of these people basically bought around here, and then the rest bought around here. So you know what I mean? So it's like if you keep going backwards, the number of long-term holders that are buying for a year, it looks like it's more than doubling year after year. So is Cardano dead? No. What's happening is people are buying buying ADA and holding them. And that's the basic meat of that. There are so many different metrics on here that I find really interesting. Where's the rest? Where's the other stuff I was looking at? Into the Block really is a cool resource, especially if you're looking for something specific. I was looking at something else I wanted to show. Bulls and bears, it's always pretty much the same. Large transactions and volume. That's not it. Price, not worried about that. All-time high, 297. Market cap. This is all pretty general information. What was I looking at earlier? I think it was something related to, you know what? Hold on. Let me see what I was looking at. Oh, well, that was ownership. So I got that. All social stats. Yeah. So basically people are just setting it and forgetting it, right? They're going in, they're buying a bunch of ADA, they're accumulating over time. And a lot of these people are DCAing. It's obvious because people are buying more and more each time because that number is growing exponentially. And that's ultimately what it boils down to. Members at price. So these are Telegram members. The social. Well, okay, I see. So that has come down a little bit. So this thin blue line that's really difficult to see, that's the number of Telegram members as it relates to the price of Cardano. But there's still, it hasn't really changed that much. It was at a peak. It doesn't tell me the peak there. You gotta lay this arrow on this just right. Let's just say an average of 62,000 Telegram members and still going. But anyway, this is the kind of stuff that I'm looking at now because I want to start kicking out these price prediction videos for like these 38 different projects. And I'm going to be releasing them. The ones that I don't cover on YouTube, I'm going to be covering off my locals channel. And I'm trying to just suck up in as much data as I can. And I'm trying to utilize AI to help me find patterns within the price based off of other metrics related to the project, whether that's on-chain, social, so forth. Because let's be real about it, folks. A lot of this stuff is all patterns. It's all expectation. It's all, it's basically what is the general market doing because of its perception of what's happening on the blockchain, which is why we see so many trolls and holders of other projects constantly trying to FUD it and create doubt. But yeah, I'm super excited about that. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the comments real quick. I'm trying to figure out how high I should go. Let's see. All right. Crypto larvae. Only person I truly care to listen to in regards to crypto. Well, thank you very much. Cheers, Crow. Yeah, that's cool. Hopefully you guys can hear me better than you can see me, because I definitely look like a green troll right now. Apex Fusion. Yeah, there's going to be stuff coming in Apex Fusion. I know that they're getting ready to launch their test net here soon, and then I'm going to talk to some of the team about it. But I haven't covered a lot about it because I was talking about it, and I was trying to let the world know that it exists and that it's something I've got my eye on. I'm going to be taking a role in to some extent because I really like what they're doing. But I'm just like, let them build. I've just been leaving them alone for the most part. When they're ready, I'll be ready. And it's just like, because one of the big questions, as soon as I started talking about it, I just got inundated with people asking me where to buy it. I'm like, you can't buy it yet. You can't get involved. There's nothing to do. And I'm like, maybe it was a little premature for me to start talking about it with everybody. But it's definitely started the conversation. I know that much. And so people are waiting. People are definitely interested. Obviously, people are asking me about it. There will be a lot of updates once they are at a point where those updates are going to help anything. Right now, I'm just talking about something nobody can touch anyway, so it's kind of pointless. If you're doing the video, it already says too much. I'm not sure what that was in reference to, so I don't know. Anybody do a video that says ETH is fading? Bloodsport, I love the movie. You are not Tanaka. But I don't know what you're talking about. You ready for Chang? We need to get this launched. Yeah, the Crow node, I posted on Twitter, the Crow node's ready to go. So, my developer told me, I think it was yesterday, early afternoon, like we are current. We are updated, we're flowing, we're ready to go. We had to make some upgrades, I guess, because it's a little bit more of a hog. But anyway, yeah, so Crow's ready to go, ready for Chang. I really wish there was something I could log into or some sort of metric so that I could see out of like the 3,100 Cardano nodes, how many of them are fully upgraded, ready for Chang, because we need 70% of them. And yeah, so oh God, another one of these guys. You guys are like silly. Cardano is fading 6 years later, and projects like AVAX have more people using it. I don't even know where you guys come from. Like, are you guys real people, or like I like Jay crypto minded? You know what I think would be very telling? I should set up a live stream once with like 6 of you trolls, like 6 of you guys that come and you guys are always in my chat, like trolling Cardano. Let's get on a live stream together, face, voice. Let's just throw it all out there and let's talk about it. Like, do you actually feel the way you do? Like, are you real people? Or like, are you guys just like are you guys part of the teams of other projects, and so it's like a part of your like night shift to go around trolling chats? I'm genuinely curious. Like, I want to know who you are. I want to know what you do. I want to know more about you, because after everything that's happened since 2017, I don't really understand how anyone could have a clear head or any real sensibilities in the blockchain space and then say things like Cardano is done, Cardano is dead. Like, it's no different to me than people telling me how sharp Biden is. Like, it's like, where do you people come from? Are you incentivized somehow to say these things? Like, do you like take screenshots of chats that you've interrupted and kind of trolled and send them to some like marketing manager, and then you get paid so much for every troll comment. Like I legitimately do wonder, like, how do you guys operate and like why? Because there's the proof is in the pudding. Like, you can't argue the on-chain metrics. I just showed you significant metrics, and like I don't know. Maybe I just need to laugh some of you guys off. I don't know, but it's kind of silly. Will you ever use those Crows NFTs for anything? Yes, I am going to be using those Crow NFTs for things. A big part of what I'm going to be using them for is everything that I'm doing with Cornucopias. And there's other stuff too. It's just, we're just getting started in the market. And, there's a chance I could be doing some things as it relates to Crow Score, but I don't really know what yet. I'm always open to ideas. My biggest thing with the Crow, with the murder of Crow NFTs, or even the Crow tokens for that matter, is that I don't want anything shady. Like, that's it. I don't want there to be anything shady, and I don't want to do anything or say anything that anybody would be like, well, you said this 6 months ago, or you did this and it didn't work out. And like, I don't know, man, just people are weird. Look at the chat sometimes. Like, people can create narratives and create stories and like, I don't want to fuel any of that stuff. I want people to have, honestly, I mean, the murder of Crows NFTs were like a big part of doing that was just because I thought they were cute. Like, I just thought they were cool, and I figured other people would think they were cool. And then I started thinking, like, what other use cases could we utilize these for? I'm always open to ideas. Let me know in the comments. What other ideas are there? If there are legitimate use case ideas that are put forth that make sense and that are safe for people, I'll do it. I've got a team. I'll do it. I just don't know what that is. I don't know what, I mean, there are no more. You can't go mint new Murder of Crow NFTs anymore. But I mean, I'm still willing to like do stuff, you know what I mean? To like help that community, to help my followers and everybody. I don't know. Just let me know. Like, I'm open to any ideas as long as they're good ones. Who goes and watches videos about coins that people don't like? Yeah, exactly, Tyler. It's like that's why I think they're employed somehow. I really do. I think they're part of some sort of campaign. Because if you go to somebody's live stream and you're notified, it means you're following me. If you're following me, I'm the biggest Cardano bull since 2017 and one of the first people to ever talk about it. So if you're following me, you obviously have an actual interest in Cardano for some reason. You're either interested in watching it fall because it's a competitor or somehow going to hurt something else you hold, or you're a bull and you just want to know like what's going on, like what's the latest news, what's happening. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but I would love to have a group of them on and just like just have some fun. Okay. I bought ADA at 8 cents, so assume all you want. Just saying what I think. Sorry, it doesn't go with yours. I mean, okay. Listen, fair enough if that's what you think, but you're going to be proven wrong the same way everybody else has been since 2017. So, hey, I'm late. I'm late. Not that this is a date. What's up, Ava? How are you doing? Good evening, Crow. In the future, what do you think Cardano will be the one thing it's known for most? When we hear the name Cardano, what will be our first thing we think of as far as utility? To me, Jason, I think it's going to be like absolute decentralization. I mean, that's what I think ultimately is going to be the thing. And here's the thing. This is the one thing that one of the reasons why I believe Cardano not only has been designed and developed the way it has been, with all the peer review, trying to utilize the best methodologies behind each technology and milestone and all of that stuff. But I believe that they're trying to build something that can ultimately be autonomous. Like, I really do. I think that they've been trying to build something that the world can control through democracy, like real democracy, not the way we do it here in the US. And I think that that's ultimately what it boils down to. And a big part of that is because if you were a real, let's say you had let's say you were a country and you are relying on a voting system. Would you rather have a voting system that you could pull up on like one of those script kitty, those hacker search engines. You guys realize you can, was a Shodan or something like that. It's like a search engine where you can search internationally for open IP addresses. Basically IPs connected to cameras, voting machines, other stuff, pretty much anywhere. And then you people start messing with it, or they watch like these open live video live video streams and so forth. And it's crazy what you can find and what's available on these platforms. Would you trust a voting system or like the democracy of your country on a centralized chain that is wrought with like different holes, security holes, or back doors, or things like that, or that somehow, some way, centrally controlled by a small group of people? Like, is that what you would entrust like this huge use case to? Or would you trust something that was built properly? It took longer to get to where it's at, but it's here. And, a peer-reviewed scientific and academic approach to building literally every little nut and bolt to go into the system? Or would you rather be, 30,000 feet in the air and the door fall off? Like that's I feel like what we're talking about here. And I honestly, besides the security of the blockchain in Cardano, I think that the democracy, the way the community can take part and vote in every major thing that happens and plan as such with representatives, that's the blockchain I think is going to be trusted to embrace and embolden a lot of different use cases that I believe are like really high end, high scale types of use cases. So honestly, above anything else, I think it's going to be its true decentralization in the democratic system, the Cardano Constitution, and the model by which everything operates. I think that is going to be very attractive to anybody that wants to be able to do something true, transparent, secure, scalable, and ultimately interoperable if that were the need. And I just don't think there's anything that's going to be able to touch Cardano. I mean, I know that the haters and the people out there, they say what they they say what they want. Well, thank you. But yeah, I mean, that's what I think we're going to be. That's what I think is ultimately going to shine through. Crow, Cardinal, Square, thine coin. Go play in a movie. I don't know what that means. What's up, Chromo? And all my chromos. That's kind of funny. Following you from Canada. I hope everything's going okay in Canada. Is Trudeau still there? Has Trudeau really been in power for 10 years? I mean, is that like, I thought I saw somebody say something about that recently. I'm like, man, shit is different in Canada. How does somebody like that stay in power for 10 years? I mean, I guess I don't need you to tell me. I can kind of figure it out, but damn. Hey, Crow, love your work. Love your honesty. You got me into Cardano. Thank you. Well, you're welcome. Thank you for being here. Didn't you say that ADA would be $1 at the end of this month? I did. I did say that I thought Cardano would be $1 by the end of this month, and we'll see. I mean, I could very well be wrong. Listen, I mean, June and July are generally pretty slow months for blockchain. But I think the growth is there. And I think that, and that was honestly, wasn't that before? I can't remember. Wasn't that before I even knew Chang was coming? Because when the Chang hard fork happens and we go full blown 100%, like this is it, we might get a pretty big pump, and we can pump outside of the rest of the market. We know Cardano moves by the beat of its own drum. And it like Bitcoin does not have to be pumping for Cardano to go on a tear. We've seen this multiple times. So yeah, I did say that. I could be wrong. I'm always right sometimes. But yeah, I did say that, and we'll see how it turns out. We've got a month. Hope I'm right. I don't care what other people say. I'm still a Cardano believer. Zell, as you should be. I think you're in good hands. Love you, Crow, but rambling right now. I do that when I'm live. I know. I'm so sorry. I just think Cardano is a coin that itself backed against the wall. Unfortunately, there's no adoption compared to other chains. I've been a hodler for 5 years. Listen, by what metrics, folks? You guys are looking at a lot of meme coin bullshit metrics. Let's be honest. You guys think that because a blockchain has a bunch of meme coin trash on it, that's literally put out to scam people over and over and over again. And then you've got wash trading volume. There are so many different metrics that a lot of you folks are looking at with other chains. And you're seeing those metrics combined with the paid narratives that they're basically putting all over the place, along with the paid narratives associated with what they don't want because it's the biggest competition for them. And then you believe it. Like what? Like how many of you guys have been around over the last 4 or 5 years and just watched the news? Like how many of you guys have not figured out how this shit works yet? And I'm not trying to sound insulting, but like, let's be real about it. I don't think any major blockchains are getting any significant anything right now. We've just basically started coming out of a bear market. And the only thing that's really moved in any real way has been Bitcoin because of the ETFs, Ethereum because of its proposed ETFs, and then meme coin chains. But these meme coin chains are not going to last the test of time. I'm telling you now. You can think whatever you want. And listen, if it's treating you well now, great, enjoy it. There are a lot of people making a lot of money in meme coins. I'm not even trying to shit on that. I'm just trying to say, listen, when you're talking about realistic use cases and like real use cases, I'm just going to move on. I just can't. There's so much. So I don't know. We'll just see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens by the end of this year. We'll see where we're at. Let's evaluate where we're at in November. I'll be a year older in November. Do I grow wiser, or do I just grow a little less mentally functional? We'll see. We'll see. Where does Cardano end up by the end of 2024 as we head into 2025? Are we going to hit $1 by the end of this month? I truly don't know. I hope so. I'd like to see it. It looks like we could and very well should, but I don't know. How many of us knew that Bitcoin was going to spring up to 75 grand overnight? Anything can happen in crypto, and anything that we do to try and predict price action over time or whatever. Anytime we try to predict anything, none of us are going to be right 100% of the time, and a broken clock is right twice a day. So I can, every once in a while, I'm really accurate. Sometimes I'm not as accurate. Sometimes I'm flat out wrong. I'm not trying to make any big bold claims. I'm hoping for the best. I'd like to be devil's advocate, but Van Eck and ARK filing for Solana ETFs. The money is backed by them and the adoption is there. Hey, listen, I've said this multiple times. I like the fact that Solana is getting an ETF. I don't want an ETF for Cardano. This is another thing. You guys are comparing apples to oranges here. Solana is an ETF kind of blockchain. Solana is centrally owned and controlled, folks. Solana is not meant to be something like Cardano. It's not really a decentralized blockchain. Look it up. Go look at the numbers. And if you can find any places that still have Solana's metrics and on-chain makeup and all of that stuff, you'll notice, why do you think that shit's not available anywhere? Because it goes against the actual narrative. Otherwise, it'd be all over the place and we'd all be able to look at it and read it and check it out. We can't find any of that data. So you can believe whatever you want to, but until I'm able to prove otherwise, or somebody says, hey, go to this website, all that information is here, it proves you wrong, show me, I will do a video on it. But until you can do that, you guys don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That's just all I have to say. Like, I see all these Solana, the people, and all these people, and I'm not talking about you, Tony Gee. I'm just saying, like, generally, people that come and they're actually trolling. I need to take you off so you don't think I'm talking directly to you. The people that come in and they try to say X, Y, Z, so much of it is bunk. It is just bunk. But it's funny because a lot of people will believe the narrative about one thing with no proof whatsoever, while they buy into a narrative of something else when the proof completely negates it at the same time. Blows my mind. It's like people that say, oh, this president guy over here, he's sharp as a tack. He's super quick. He jumps buildings with a single bound. And, like when he farts, the power of it blows brick walls. Nobody's got video of any of that happening at any time, anywhere, ever. And like what you see in front of your very eyes is like basically somebody that you ever see those videos where they're like, proof we're stuck in the Matrix, and you see a bird that's just like suspended in midair. Right. And it's just the perfect weight to wind ratio and everything kind of keeps the bird kind of hanging there. And but that's what we see. We're seeing this all the time. We saw it in the debate. We see it all over the place. And there's this whole narrative around it. But people think like all of a sudden this is some kind of revelation to everybody just now. Like somehow just now after the debate, we all suddenly saw for ourselves something that it was different than anything we've seen to date. No, the only difference is that now the people that are handling him are saying, oh, okay, now everybody knows. Too many people have figured this out. And there's too much stuff coming about it. There's no way we can deal with another 4 years of this and keep up the way we're doing things. We're going to have to replace them. That's what's happening. This is the same Biden it was like 4 years ago. Now, granted, his decline, in my opinion, has gotten much worse. But I remember people on Facebook and all over the place were attacking me, telling me I was an asshole for making fun of Biden's speech impediment. I'm like, this isn't a speech impediment, you moron. I know what those are. I know people with them. Granted, they can be different and they vary in style and shape, but ultimately it's the same damn shit that's been happening since the very beginning. And it's like we're led to believe that somehow this decline just suddenly appeared before the debate. And then now that everybody has seen it, no, folks, everything that you see is coordinated by the people with the money to make it happen. That's all there is to it. And it's the same in blockchain. Gosh. Anyway, Solana is just a cynical cash grab play. You can make money if you buy it, potentially, in the same way you can make money buying Doge. That's the way I look at it. But, it is what it is. I believe in decentralization, and ADA is that. Yes, Tony, I agree. I mean, that's, a lot of the stuff has already been disproven and continues to be disproven. But people just, people don't want to pay attention. I'm always shocked at the number of people who will say things, whether it's Cardano or blockchain or politics or anything. It blows my mind how many people have such a strong opinion when in reality they don't really have a clue what they're talking about. And really all they know is whatever they learned in the last headline they read. And that's their argument for whatever they're up to that day. And it's just, it really does. It blows my mind. And it's sad in a way because it's a big part of the reason why we're in this situation. It's like everything that we see, everybody's like, was this set up? Was that stage? Was this fake or not? And, it's like we're always constantly trained to believe that these political races are razor thin. So should it go in either direction, we're not shocked, surprised, or suspect anything. Come on, man. Like, are you for real? Oh, God. You know what? I can't tonight. I can't. People will, Mark Twain said it himself, it's easier to fool somebody than to convince somebody they've been fooled. And once people have bought into something, it's almost impossible to get them to wake up and realize that they're just a moron. And that's really all it boils down to. People who trade meme coins are gambling and don't care if a blockchain is serious or not. And that makes up the bulk of our market right now. Thank you. Exactly. That's what I've been saying for a while. And that's what I believe. Hey, Crow, been holding ADA for 5 years because of you. Do you think ADA's traction has slowed down? No, I just showed this, folks. Did you not? Are you guys not watching? Do I need to go over this shit again? How many of you are late? How many of you came in after I was showing? And it's okay, but how many of you came in after I talked about the Cardano metrics, the number of holders, and so forth? Let me know in chat if you don't mind. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. What's up, George? I see you, brother. I'll cover it again if I have to. Do I need to start this all over again? I see like 1,235 eyes. Crow your coins. I'm late, bro. Eyes wide shut. A lot of late people. All right. All right. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to show some of this again, because I don't think y'all been paying no attention. All right. This is like the simplest metric that I can think of is basically this: the time holding, the time held metric. It doesn't get much easier than this to understand. People are just like, don't you think this is happening? Don't you think that's happening? No. The number of long-term holders is growing exponentially and has been since 2021. I mean, these are the wallets. These are the number of wallets that have been holding Cardano for over a year. We're at over 3 million now. Where were we in the peak of the last cycle? We were at 211,000 addresses. Do you understand what this means for price, folks? When Cardano hit $2.88, only 211,000 of the addresses were holding ADA for at least a year. They started dumping the moment the price started moving. You see what I'm saying? So some of those numbers went up, but ultimately the bulk of those numbers were around 200,000, 170,000, and it just kind of bounced around there. And then that started to decline as the price of ADA went up. The number of cruisers skyrocketed. Okay, these are basically people that are just kind of like swing trading, right? They're just kind of moving with the market. And then the number of traders, the number of people trading went up to 618,000. But as we continue moving forward, year after year, day after day, month after month, we're at 3.1314 million addresses that have been holding Cardano for at least a year now. You've got 1.17 million addresses considered to be cruisers, basically holding it between 1 to 12 months. And then the traders there's 160,000 traders. These are people that have only been holding for a month or less. I mean, the proof is in the pudding right now. People are accumulating Cardano en masse, and those numbers are going up constantly. Every day, more and more people are accumulating Cardano. It's like people can say what they want, but, yeah, I mean, that's it. I don't know what else to say. History has shown, let's see what you got. History has shown that the following typically holds true. People can get just about anything to work. Try to scale it, make it reliable and operationally palatable. Okay. I'm not sure what you're referring to exactly, but all right. Amy Lives Crypto. Hey, Poman13. What's up? Where's Poman? Oh, there he is. What's up? Oh, you guys are talking to each other. All right. Well, don't let me get in the way. I don't want to interfere with anything you guys got going on. Yep. Holding over 3 years. What's up, Mr. B? 15-month left bull run. I don't think we got 15 months, but I think within the year. I've been holding ADA for 5 years. I plan on holding way longer than that. All right. And yes, you can put the rails down as the train moves, but if things pick up, shortcuts are made only to blow up later and be discovered. Bob Delaney, what's going on? Crypto Chef is in the house. Fly. I've been holding ADA since watching Charles Whiteboard in 2017. Quality of the code and vision make for a great future. Yeah, listen, people can say whatever they want, but the proof is in the numbers. And I get that we don't have a huge meme coin culture. We don't have a website. I just saw something today. What was it? Pump.fun. Their volume has overtaken like basically Ethereum. All Pump.fun is a meme coin market. And there's so much money pumping through there for all of these pet rocks. And people want to compare that with what's been built with Cardano. Are you insane? That's like saying that if Chuck E. Cheese started getting more volume for its ticket booth, its ticket shop where you buy a little plastic trash for tokens that you earn by overspending for like games, like that, because somehow, some way they managed to get wildly popular as like 1 in 100 people made a bunch of money, that was somehow better than, I don't know, any other marketplace or market system like Amazon or something like that. And it's like, okay, I get it's the hot thing right now. I get it's the big fad, just like the pet rock was back in the 80s. But Don't get it twisted. This to me is very much a temporary thing, but to each their own. I don't know what else to say. You guys need to go join my my locals, like right now. Go join locals. I'm gonna post the link again because I got to get back to work here, and I got to work on content for the locals that I'm going to be posting exclusively in my locals. And if you care at all, you guys are going to have to sign up. But yeah, just go to cryptocrow.io, or there's Crypto Chef. He's got the link. I want to see a bunch of you guys in there. If you guys want to be able to ask me questions and chat directly, posting comments and actually have me be able to respond, you're going to do that in my locals because it's going to be the easiest thing. And it's something I monitor like constantly now. So yeah, I wasn't fast enough. I know. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate it. Always love your help. So yeah, I'm going to get back to working on this stuff for locals. You guys can check it out. And I'll see you over there if you're in there. I don't know. If you're not, and you're not. I'll see you tomorrow when I'm back on YouTube. Until next time, guys and gals, thanks for joining me. Grow your coins, and I'll see you soon.